Hello, everyone, and welcome to our general membership meeting. Really appreciate your attendance here, everyone joining us here on Facebook Live. What we'd like to do is start off with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence for all of our departed members. Okay, so I've asked all of us to stand, face the flag. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. We're good to go? We're good? Okay, guys. Thank you again for joining us for our general membership meeting of March 2021. We welcome all of you that are in attendance here via Facebook Live. A couple of things I'd like to address first before we move on to the meeting. We will have a question and answer period towards the end of the meeting. So any questions you may have or any questions that may come up in your mind during the meeting, please put them into the chat. Type the questions into the chat. We have our entire staff here monitoring the chat, and we will document your questions and address each one of them at the end of the meeting, okay? So I just want to, again, thank you for your attendance, your participation. We miss you guys, but, you know, the show goes on. We have to have these meetings. We have to bring everyone up to speed on what's been going on, and we're happy to do it. We're happy to have the meeting, and hopefully we will see you really soon here in our building again. Also, as with all of our general membership meetings via Facebook Live, please check in. That's how we are able to monitor attendance. It is also, excuse me, it is also how you are entered for the raffle at the end of the meeting. So just type in your name, Joe Waddy, store 566 or whatever it is, so that we know that you are present, and just say hello. And again, we've got a team in the back that are writing down everyone's attendance here and inputting you into the raffle at the end. Okay, guys? So thank you very much. I am going to pass it along to our Secretary Treasurer, Ali Waddy.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Rob. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. As always, I like to start with just thanking you guys for your service, for everything that you do, for continuing to be essential. We'll never get tired of saying that, for the simple fact that we don't want anyone to ever forget that this is a designation that you were assigned because of the hard work that you put in and the sacrifices that you make. I'm going to start by just giving you an update, and we're going to go all over the place with different things. As always, we have many things to cover, but you guys asked, and we thought that it'd be fair to oblige. Rob's actually wearing a prototype of a mask that we will be bringing to you. We know that the gaiters were a little difficult. It was definitely not a one-size-fits-all for everyone, so we wanted to make sure that we addressed it. And it does have straps that are adjustable. It does have, it will have our logo. It will be something that's a lot more comfortable to wear. And the best part, I can tell you that no one likes wearing a mask. I would say definitely wouldn't like wearing a mask, working in the supermarket and having to wear it all day long. So we also wanted to show you what it will actually look like once it's printed. It hasn't been printed. It is in production for you guys right now. There you go. Thank you, Rob, for showing that. It does show the essential worker designation, as previously mentioned. We do believe that's well deserved, and we want to continue to make sure that we advertise that, and that you wear our masks, because they're your masks. So moving on, I want to highlight a couple of things. Our union is constantly growing in a lot of different ways, growing in this particular area, which is really important to us. We have some new staff, and we have some staff that we believe are the best representatives right now that we could be providing for you. Lee Durfee Lavoie, who you may meet at some point. Unfortunately, we don't do the same presentation as we used to, where we would have someone come up to the camera. Again, we're trying to stay safe and make sure that everyone is taking care of themselves. Lee has a multitude of different skills that he brings to the table. Mr. Durfee Lavoie has been helping. For those of you that have been talking to Lee during the vaccination process, yes, he is one of the staffers that is helping during that process, and he's also working on multiple organizing assignments, which I will proudly report to you a little bit later on the outcome of that. Moving on, we have a gentleman who came to us from an organizing drive. Shane Jones. Shane actually reached out to us to organize his place of work, and he got very involved in it. Again, that will be part of my future presentation, and I'll give you the update on the organizing drive. But what's important about Mr. Jones is that he comes with a lot of knowledge on how to organize, because he actually tried to do it at his place of work. It's not something that someone told him about. It's actually something that he realized on his own, and he made it a reality. So we're proud to welcome him to our team. And moving on, Dan Byers, who we may have mentioned him in the past, but if I have not, I definitely want to make a note to do it. Dan comes with vast knowledge of political and organizing work. He came to us from the Central Labor Council, which is a labor body that we belong to, where Rob is actually a vice president. And he does have a lot of skills. As I previously mentioned, he has already shown his worth, if you will, to our membership, and is heading up many of these organizing projects that we are working on. And our latest addition is Gina Gwelly. Ms. Gwelly came to us from Stop and Shop. She's a rank and file member, and really happy to have her for many reasons. She comes with a knowledge of what it is to work in the supermarket business while being on a pandemic, and that's something that we'll definitely be tapping into and making sure that the needs of our members are being addressed with the voices that we have on our staff. Most of the folks that I mentioned, whether it be Lee, Dan, Shane, or Gina, these are folks that are product of working in the retail industry. They're not people that haven't had the knowledge of the one-on-one contact with working in jobs such as yourselves. So we are really proud to bring you a product that we believe will reap some good benefits. So what benefits are we talking about? Currently, Local 1500 is engaged in the multiple organizing drives, as I mentioned before. One being Monfifo. It's a production plant that's in Brooklyn, New York. That production plant produces products that are sold in stores like Whole Foods and other organic shops, organic bodegas throughout Brooklyn, New York. We're currently in a situation where we're fighting them, and there's a lot of legal action that's taking place right now, where we're trying to bring as much justice to these workers as they need. The reality is that when these workers came to us, very similar to we've had in the past in campaigns like Target and other campaigns where workers actually knew what the law was, they were organizing themselves, and all I could say is that I'm humbled to accept their challenge and us representing them, and we're proud to do it as well. So we look forward to it, and the one thing that I do want to send a message to the workers at Monfifo is that we'll stand by you, we'll be there for you, and no matter what the challenge is, what I can promise you is that this union will do everything in its power to make sure that you're treated as fair as possible, and that your job is better for your affiliation to this union, no matter what. And that's a statement that I make for any worker that wants to become a part of Local 1500. If your company breaks the law, we're more than happy to assist you in that. The legal process in that could be very difficult at times, but not when you have attorneys and when you have a union that represents 18,000 workers that will stand with you. And moving on, I also want to report on Foragers, which is a campaign a little more similar to what you're used to. It is a grocery store. It is a market that we're looking to represent 2 different locations, Dumbo and Chelsea, one in Brooklyn, one in Manhattan. What I can tell you right now is that it is a time for workers to stand up. It is a time for workers to have their voices be heard, especially when we're talking about workers in the grocery industry. People that went to work, just like you, people that went to work in a lot of situations where they didn't have the union to stand up for them. They didn't know what hazard pay was until the union stepped up and got it for others, and others started to follow suit. So I'm proud to say that our union will continue to push for these projects to become union and to energize workers all over the place to demand justice, because only then will we be able to move together and to move forward to a better future as one. Sounds like we like helping people, and we do. It is really important for us to be able to spread the word about the union because, again, just like putting the logo on the mask is one of the best advertisements to speak word of mouth. So we ask you, do you like helping people? Do you want to help people? Because a lot of times we put out ads, we put out notices, and sometimes I think as we spoke, Rob and Joe, we spoke about the way in which we advertise that, and let's not mince words. We need members. We need members like you to spread the word. And if you're interested, please let us know. Contact us and drop us a line. We're always looking for someone to help on a campaign. And a lot of times we're looking for members to get involved and become a permanent part of our staff. So whether you want to help out or you want to work for the union, let us know. We will definitely put that email address in the comments so that you guys can keep it and that you can apply for a job with the union. We'd be happy to have you. In just closing, I just want to wish you all a safe and a productive rest of the year or rest of the quarter, because we will be seeing you guys in June. There are a lot of exciting changes that are coming down the pike. Our team is pretty energized about this new bargaining season that we have, and I'm sure that Rob and Joe will comment on that as they get their turns. So good luck and take care.
Thanks, Al. I will, I'll go right into the contract update. Perfect segue. It's a very busy contract year this year, and I'll just give you a little window of where we are right now. I'll start with Bonadonna ShopRite. Bonadonna was set to expire December 31st of 2020. And we had signed onto a shorter extension, a 30-day extension that was set to automatically renew month to month. But we have since signed on to a longer extension with Bonadonna, which will expire now December 31st of 2021. We've got a wage increase actually built in there that's going to be retroactive to December or to January 1st of 2021. Okay, so the Bonadonna reps will be out in the stores, just making sure that those ShopRite members understand exactly what's going on. And that's basically the same thing that we did with SRS Glass and Mannix in the summer last year when they were set to expire. But of course, we were right in the middle of the pandemic. Or leading into the heart of the pandemic, so we weren't able to get together and have group meetings. So we basically pushed it off for a year, and we're doing the same thing with Bonadonna. So stay tuned for that as we will reconvene with the Bonadonna membership late this year, leading into the fall and the winter. It's just Stop and Shop is now a complete package with the contract, and we are working to get that contract physically finalized and then out to the printer and into the hands of the Stop and Shop membership out there. Happy to report that we were able to come to an agreement on pharmacist increases as well. And the reps will be out in the stores meeting with every single Stop and Shop pharmacist to just sort of indicate to them what where they're going forward with the contract. Tops Market up in Rhinebeck, we have one store. That's our northernmost store in our jurisdiction. They were set to expire December 31st as well. And we are in the process of meeting with a committee from that store and the company. And the next meeting we have is scheduled for March 11th at this point, tentatively scheduled, but we will report on that after that is completed. We're hoping to have that wrapped sooner rather than later. Tops typically signs on to what's called a Me Too in the industry, dovetailing behind Stop and Shop, but we are definitely giving the opportunity for the Tops membership to have their voices heard and to sit with the company and just go through the process with them. The Bogopah acquired stores, that's the Starrett City store and the Brentwood, Long Island store, former Pathmark stores, which Bogopah, also known as Food Bazaar, purchased during the 2015 bankruptcy of Pathmark. We are still negotiating with them, and as we move forward there, we will let you know, anticipating wrapping that up over the next month or so. And the only other thing that I have at this point to report on the contracts is Pickwick Key Food is coming up next. So we will be reaching out to our Pickwick membership for proposals. Now we have 3 contracts there. We have the legacy contract, which was the original one. We have the new store contract, and we have the manager's contract in Pickwick. So all 3 of those expire at the end of April. So we will be reaching out to all of you Pickwick members to get some proposals from you guys and move forward from there. And that is the current bargaining update. I'm sure at our next general membership meeting, I will report on where we are currently there, and as we go into the summer season with those expirations, because we have a number of contracts expiring in May, June, and July of this year. We will be updating you as to the progress there. I'd like to give it a vaccination update, and this is a very important topic and something that we deal with all day long, every day for the past couple of months, quite frankly. If you have seen our social media posts, if you are signed up for our email posts, or you've heard from your stewards or your union representatives, we have had some success with the County of Suffolk with regard to scheduling vaccination appointments for our members who live or work in Suffolk County. Now, we have these conversations quite frequently with the membership, and we're stressing that we don't administer the vaccinations ourselves. Obviously, we're not medical professionals, right? We can't tell the state where to administer the vaccines and for who. We get contacted by the state or a local authority, and we are told, listen, this is how many vaccines we have available for you guys at these times. So we take that information and we send it out to the membership as soon as we can. We can't deviate from that information. We say thank you, we get those vaccine appointments, and we blast it out to the membership, and you see it there. We've had much success with Suffolk County over the past 4 weeks or so. I think we are just about at 700 of our members successfully scheduled and successfully vaccinated for COVID-19. And we're going to continue to go forward with it. obviously, we don't know how much longer or how long we will be able to get the vaccines from Suffolk County, but for as long as we get them, we will continue to schedule people happily out there. And look, we have the Stop the Virus at ufcw1500.org email. That is the email to email if you're looking to get a vaccine appointment. Right now, it is only for Suffolk County. Yes, I know we have members in Nassau County and in the 5 boroughs and going upstate as well, Westchester, Putnam, and Dutchess. At this point, we don't have the availability in those areas yet. As soon as we do, we will let you know. We were contacted a couple of evenings ago for a one-day appointment event in Valhalla, I believe it was, Westchester County, and we put that information out as soon as we could. That is not a situation where we were able to schedule for people. People had to visit a link that we sent out and schedule themselves. And again, we don't have the luxury of telling the state or any municipalities what to do or how to do it, but we have appealed to everyone, and we are looking for vaccine appointments for all of our membership. I am happy to report that Bonadonna ShopRite, again, will be getting the vaccine at one of their stores. When I say that, I mean their pharmacy will be getting the vaccine, as will King Cullen stores that have pharmacies in them. And our understanding, again, from the state, is that those stores that have pharmacies in them will be able to schedule the people who work in those stores to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. Again, this is a mandate from the state. We have no control over it. This is what they roll out. This is what they tell us this is happening. Will it expand somehow in the future? We will see. But as for now, the King Cullen stores that have pharmacies in them, and the Bonadonna ShopRite with the pharmacy in it will have the ability to vaccinate their employees that work in that building, and that's regardless of age for those people who work in those buildings. In addition to the public, of course. So we will keep you posted there. If you've been following the news about the vaccinations, you will know that Johnson & Johnson is about to release their vaccine, and New York is scheduled to receive 164,000 vaccinations of the Johnson & Johnson brand. Exactly how they're going to be administered and delivered and where, we don't know yet, but if any come our way, rest assured we will let you guys know as soon as possible. I mentioned that we've been able to successfully schedule with including Westchester County, about 700 of our members, and we've been doing this process for about 4 weeks now, give or take. Ever since the supermarket employees in New York have been allowed to enter Group 1B and receive the vaccine, we've been working on it. I'll keep. I will. If you don't know, New Jersey is releasing supermarket workers, or including supermarket workers, for the vaccine on March 29th. We had hoped it would be sooner than that for our supermarket counterparts in New Jersey, and hopefully that they can speed up that date for them, but we're still looking at almost a month out for New Jersey supermarket employees. So the other side of that is that we feel that we're pretty fortunate at this point to be able to start vaccinating our members, and we're going to continue to go forward with that. Again, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat, and we will definitely address them at the end of the meeting. And that's all I got.
Ally's got one more thing.
Oh, sure.
I do have a couple more things for you guys. And look, just to add a little something to what Joe was saying, when we visited the vaccination site, you should know that the county actually has all of their employees working on this. And by no means is this any defense to anyone, but just to say that I think some people are trying. They're trying to get things done. I'll even say the Commissioner of Labor was there when we showed up, and she was actually directing traffic. And it was, I was quite fond of the fact that they're definitely not stopping at anyone working to get this done. So I would like to personally ask for people to have patience and to know that we are definitely pushing buttons out there, and we'll continue to do that on your behalf. But we do believe we're getting some results. It's never going to be enough, and we understand that. So just bear with us for a bit. Some couple of, amenities to you guys and information that we definitely didn't want to miss. We have access to an immigration training for those that are interested in furthering their status in this country, whether you want to become a citizen or you have someone that you know that wants to become a citizen. We'll put that information out to you guys as we have it. First, we will have our staff get trained on it the best way possible to ensure that you get the best information out there. So once that program has concluded, we'll pass it on to the rest of the membership and get you guys on. And as I said, we will get that information to you as soon as we have it. Something that's happening right now with COVID as a result of the issuance of unemployment benefits, and obviously they're pretty vast, and when you have a situation like that, so many people filing for unemployment, it also creates opportunity for fraud. So if you have been the victim of fraud for some reason, or you know someone that's been the victim of fraud, you can definitely speak to your rep. You can get in touch with us. info@UFCW Local 1500 is definitely an email that a lot of you utilize, and I really encourage you to continue doing that. But we ourselves have noticed that people are filing claims under others' names, and it's illicit, obviously, and I'm sure that at some point it'll be caught. But in the interim, if you have been a victim of that, there are things that you could do. We could get in contact with your local district attorney. I can tell you that for us, when we did contact the district attorney in Nassau County, that she jumped right into action. She gave us access to the finance fraud unit, they were able to help us right away. And if you don't act on it very quickly, what I can tell you is it does leave you open for other things that can happen. If someone's filing a claim under your social security number, they have access to other things that they can do. So to put a stop on it right away, it's best that you act as soon as you can. And the union's here to help you with that. So if you have any questions, again, you could reach out to your rep, or you could email us at info@ufcw1500.org. Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't mean to throw that in front of you. Paul. How you doing, everybody? So I messed up. Joe was trying to tell me to give Ally a message before when she was talking about the mask. One of the other interesting pieces about the next mask that's coming, and this is a prototype, it won't be gray or this weird color, but it also has an insert space where you can put a filter in if you want, and it's really up to you. You can pretty much, if you follow some of the CDC sites, there's a bunch of things you can use as filters to help you out and just give you a little extra level of protection. So I did want to say thank you to Ally. She went a long way to try to find something. I mean, I have a relatively big face that goes along with my big mouth, and this has a bottom. It has like a chin cover as well as the pinch for your nose. So God willing, between that and the adjustable straps, it'll be what we tried to have is be a one-size-fits-all. So it's a really, really exciting thing for us to be able to do for our members. We've done, I think, the disposables, we've done the gaiters, and we did the white masks with the logo on them already. We're just trying to make sure that we keep our members safe as much as we possibly can. Just to kind of comment on a few things that have already been discussed, and then I'll kind of get into my own agenda. Most people don't understand how difficult and how long the process can be when a contract is settled, right? It takes a long time. Occasionally it gets a little aggressive. We can be at odds with an employer. And anyone who's ever served on a negotiating committee absolutely knows that. I mean, we've had contracts, unfortunately, take sometimes the better part of a year to get settled. We've had some go much smoother than that. But once the settlement is reached and the memorandum of agreement is signed, there's still a lot of work that transpires from that next day forward. You know, you have to take that memorandum of agreement, you have to work it into the current contract. It goes back and forth between both union and company officials and then union and company attorneys. At that point, once both parties reach an agreeable contract document, then it has to get sent to a printer. The whole thing gets typeset, there are mistakes, there are errors, things get moved around, formatting gets screwed up, it goes back and forth with the printer 2, 3, 4 times. And then both parties have to approve it again. So I don't use it as an excuse. I don't know if we ever actually sat down and explained to the membership why there is occasionally a lag with these types of things. And quite frankly, lawyers make a lot of money, but they also have a lot of clients. And sometimes it's a little difficult to get lawyers on the same page, and sometimes it's a little difficult just to get lawyers on the same page at the same time so that we can get this process done. But I assure you, Rob Ecker, who's our administrative field coordinator, has already submitted his first draft of that combined contract to us later this afternoon. We will review it, make sure that it looks the way it should before we send it to the company for their review, and then the process starts. And God willing, it'll go quickly. But for those of you who are out there wondering how long does it take, it does take a little bit of time. So please, as Joe said, just be a little patient with us. I just want to clarify one thing because I don't want to get 5,000 resumes tomorrow. The union is hiring a handful of people. We are hiring for a handful of positions here. We are looking for prospective organizers, we are looking for a prospective service rep, and we are looking for maybe one office staffer. We have a significant membership here. We have a significant membership that speaks languages other than English. So bilingual is something that's very, very important to us. And that doesn't just mean Spanish. It could mean French. It could mean a variety of different languages. Our membership is representative of the globe at this point. And, you know, we have needs. And if we can fill those needs from the membership, we'd prefer to have members speak to members. Let's put it this way, everybody you're looking at here and the majority of the folks that now work for the local union field staff have all been members or were workers that tried to organize their job site and were displaced as a result of it. So the email address for that is really an easy one. I can even throw this one out from memory. It's jobs@ufcw1500.org. So if you're interested, send your resume. And listen, the one thing I don't want to do is we don't want to offend anyone. We only have a handful of positions open. But I would tell you this, I was a part-time cart boy, and I'm the president of the union. So there is no one out there that based on your position, based on your status, based on the length of time you've been a member of this union, that you should be discouraged from sending in a resume if it's something you believe you want to do. But I would tell you this, and I'm going to embarrass you a little bit, Gina. I apologize. Gina's with us. This is 1 week and 3 days. And I asked Gina today in the meeting, I said, Gina, how's it going? And her answer was one word: rough. We work hard. We work long hours. Whether you choose to believe that or not is really up to you. But I can guarantee you nobody's coming here to work less hours or not to have stress that they do on the job. It's a different type of stress completely. By no means do we do what you all do in the stores, but I can guarantee you this is no cakewalk and it's no picnic. So don't think you're coming here to get a break. I can guarantee you that. So thank you. So I have a handful of comments, and one of them is going to be, I'm sure going to offend a few people, so I'll apologize up front. You have 17,000 plus members, and everyone's in the same boat. We all need to get vaccinated, and not everybody wants the vaccine. And I have as much respect for those that don't want to get the vaccine as I do for those that want it. And the irony is that from the very beginning, we've tried to explain to our members that Local 1500 is not a medical facility. And in addition to the fact that we didn't have the ability to provide 17,000 people plus the vaccine, we also were never going to be given the ability, if we could provide the vaccine, by the state or by the federal government. So this is a process that's controlled by a lot of people other than us. Labor has lobbied aggressively, especially the UFCW and the RWDSU, to get supermarket and pharmacy workers moved up to 1B. And then after being moved up to 1B, not to get you put in line behind every 65-year-old citizen or older, but that you could get access at the same time. And that's very important to us. And we were successful in doing that. So The one thing I knew is that the moment we were able to get vaccines for a group of people or an area, that we were going to start to take shrapnel from the people that we weren't able to get the vaccine for. And we don't control it. We're doing everything we can to make sure that it's available to all jurisdictions, all areas, all companies, but we cannot control it. I don't know anybody at Pfizer. I don't know anybody at Moderna. Johnson & Johnson doesn't owe us a favor. But here's the reality. And this is where it gets difficult. You know, no matter what it is, we live in a culture today where if you're angry, you scream really, really loud. And if you're happy or if you're content, more often than not, you don't say all that much. So the complainers or the ones that are pissed off, they get the stage. And that's just life right now. That's definitely what has become in a divisive America. We don't want that to be what comes of our union. My least favorite thing is when people that have never been members or are no longer members, retired members that are sitting out there enjoying their retirement check, just stir the pot just because they're safe, they're in a different state, they're not in the situation where they're an essential worker that goes in every day and is exposed to the virus, but they want to stir the hornet's nest or they want to hit it with a broom just because it's something that I don't know, it makes them happy. And that's just how some people are. I knew full well the moment Suffolk County gave us permission to get some of our members vaccinated that it was going to piss off a lot of others. I'm not in the business of not doing something that helps one group of members because I can't get it for every member. That's ridiculous. We've already vaccinated over 700 of our Suffolk County either working or residing members, and we're going to continue to try to do that for as long as we can, and we're going to do the same thing in every single municipality that we can. And no, I'm not going to take bullets because we were able to help them. If we could have done it in Nassau County already, we would have. If we could have done it in Westchester or the 5 boroughs, we would have. We're doing everything that we can to try to help you. And if you want to blow off steam and spike us for not having it in this particular area at this time on this day when you weren't, you know, busy with your other job or taking care of your kids, then by all means, this is America. You have the freedom to do it. But just know, it's really not getting anything done. It doesn't help matters, and all you're doing is blowing off steam. So we respect your right to blow off steam, but just understand we're not going to respond. And if you blow off too much steam, you might find yourself a little bit, blocked. Okay, so it's been said. If it offends you, I apologize. But we're in the business of trying to help people. We're not going to apologize for helping those that we can do. So let's cover a few items today. My day was progressing along without much bump or difficulty. We had a number of meetings today. And then we received some photos from the King Cullen stores. Unfortunately for us, we weren't made aware until we got those photos that both Brian Cullen and Don Kennedy have decided to retire, and they've put out that announcement to their company. Joe Brown and Bernie Kennedy are going to be taking over the reins. I believe it's sometime this summer in June, if I'm not mistaken. And we wanted to wish the leadership at Cullen the best, both in transition in power and moving on to retirement. I don't know what the impact is going to be on the company. This news is fresh. It's literally less than 5 hours old or 6 hours old in our knowledge. So we will keep close tabs on it, but we have every reason to believe that both Joe Brown and Bernie Kennedy will run this company effectively and that they want to run it for a long time to come. So let's see where that goes, but I'm sure some of you out there are wondering what the hell happened. I can assure you so will we, but I did have the opportunity to speak to Brian late this afternoon and wish him well in his retirement. One of the last meetings we had, we talked a lot about the pension and the changes that happened with the pension. I can tell you that the pension zone certification did come back as expected from the Siegel Company. It came back in the green zone. That's great. That's exactly what we wanted. That was what the anticipated result was going to be of Stop and Shop's withdrawal from the plan. Let's face it, there was an immediate infusion of $112.5 million into the fund. So that goes a long way to helping a funding issue with a struggling pension plan. On March the 9th, we have our next set of pension and welfare trustee meetings. At that time, we intend on asking the trustees to vote on the amendments that I covered in the pension and annuity video a few weeks back. So we have no reason to believe that those won't go through. All the projections are what the actuaries had predicted that they would be. But again, at my counsel to the pension and welfare funds, Gary Thayer, would probably have heart failure if I didn't say until the trustees take those motions, it's not official. But I will tell you that that is the intent of the entire board, both union and management trustees. So that's a good thing. It'll help our Stop and Shop folks with less than 5 years of vested time in the defined benefit pension to get that time, provided they stay the remaining balance to get to 5 years working for Stop and Shop without a break. In the annuity fund, we'll be able to bridge the two groups of service together. So that's a good thing for all of us. And obviously, once that all gets approved in March, we will report back on June, and then you'll start to see the modifications in the summary plan descriptions in the book. So with that move from the pension, we had over 7,000 Stop and Shop members that moved from the defined benefit pension fund into the annuity fund. So that came with it the need for 7,200 people, plus every person that was hired after December 26th, to fill out the annuity card. That's the big yellow card that I held up during the pension and annuity video. They're probably all over your Stop and Shop stores right now. If you haven't seen one, you're probably just trying to avoid it. But here's what I can tell you. Right now, we have less than 60% of you signed up, and that's a problem. Our reps, our service reps, our organizers, everyone and their mother is out there trying to get these things filled out and trying to get them in and get them recorded, because we need to do so. It's your beneficiary card. This is a retirement vehicle. It's very, very important that we get it done. It's not something you should ignore, and it's certainly not something you should dilly-dally with or procrastinate about. We'll take it any way you can get it to us, but it needs to be filled out in its totally. Every line that's relevant needs to be filled out. Don't leave out something, well, I'll get it later. No. Fill it out in its entirety or it can't be processed. You can scan it and email it to your rep. They're all on the website. You can get every rep's email address. You can take pictures of it and attach it to an email, as long as they're clear enough for us to read, and send it in. You can scan it and email it in. You can fax it if you need to. You can text it to your rep. You can text it through your shops to it to your rep. There's a million ways that you can get these cards in, or you can fill it out legitimately, the old-fashioned way, with a pen on a card, and you can hand it in at your store. But the bottom line is we got to get this done, and it really shouldn't have taken this long to get to 60% of you. So let's keep working with your help. If you spread the word in your own stores, we can make sure that nobody gets looked over. We can make sure that nobody misses the opportunity, and we can get everything done, and we can stop talking about annuity fund cards. I guarantee you our union reps would be thrilled if I stopped reading reports on how many they each have left at a weekly staff meeting. Forgive me. So 3/1 is exactly 60 days from the start of the year. And at the start of the year, we had announced that through our Stop and Shop bargaining, we were able to make changes and increases to both the dental benefits and the vision benefits. Believe it or not, as ridiculous as it sounds, if you make a modification to the benefit program of any capacity, even if it's an addition where you're doing more, you have to have a 60-day notice to the membership before you can implement. So March 1st, the new dental benefits went into place, as well as the new vision benefits. Hopefully, you'll all enjoy them. We did work pretty hard with the trustees to make sure that those were covered. And it was a modest increase to the actual cost of the fund, but we felt it was one that we could absorb with some additional savings we project in the next 12 months. I'd like to take the opportunity to welcome back to Region 1 former executive assistant to the regional director and former field director for RWDSU Local 338. Our new regional director, as of, I believe, February 16th, is Fallon Ager Norman. Fallon is somebody that we've worked with at Local 1500 when she was with Local 338 for 10 plus years, and then in her time as the executive assistant to the regional director, which started sometime in late 2015 for a number of years. At that point, she then had an opportunity to move to DC and became the executive assistant to the national director of bargaining. And now we're lucky enough that she's come back to us here at Region 1, and she's our new director. So welcome, Fallon. Hopefully we can get Fallon to come in at a future meeting so she can be introduced to our membership in a little bit of a broader base. Unfortunately, we don't do this via Zoom, so we can't just Zoom her in. But I'm sure many of you may have had the opportunity to meet Fallon, as she was the coordinator through the A&P bankruptcy. So she did all of the job fairs all over the tri-state area for the UFCW, especially in this region. So welcome back, Fallon. We look forward to working with you. And to former director Dave Young, we just want to say congratulations and good luck, because in your new role in DC, you're going to have your work cut out for you. Dave is going to be the new strategic director of Maria, thank you, but I'm talking, so stop texting me. Our Dave Young is going to be the new strategic director of projects and different organizing campaigns in Washington, D.C. now for the International. It's a major position, and we wish Dave congratulations and nothing but the best of luck moving forward in your new position. I had the opportunity to find myself in another job role as well. We belong to the New York, New Jersey District Council. It's a UFCW council comprised of all of the RWDSU locals and UFCW locals in New York, New Jersey, and part of Western Connecticut, and Western Connecticut. And I on January 14th, was elected Secretary-Treasurer of that council. It's something that's going to take some work, but it's also something that's going to give us an opportunity to work much better in a collective fashion with a lot of our sister unions, both in New York and New Jersey. And we look forward, myself and now President of the Council, Max Bruni, who's the President of UFCW Local 888, we look forward to working together with all the locals and trying to take the council in new directions, perhaps to give it a more social or a more moral footprint in addition to its work for organized labor. We would like to do some more outreach inside the communities that our stores and our members live and work in, and we're pretty excited about the opportunity. So in the future, we may ask you to get involved in some district council events, and now that I sit as the Secretary-Treasurer, I'll be asking with a little bit more aggression than I would have sitting in a different position before. We recorded a scholarship video 2 weeks ago. We have less than 30 days. We extended the deadline. Scholarship Fund used to have a deadline for submission of 12/31 every year. Because we made some slight modifications to the fund and we added some scholarships for, you just got a text on your computer, that's pretty great. So we added some scholarships for part-time students. And again, I don't talk about part-time members, I talk about part-time students, students that take between 6 and 9 credits per semester. The trustees of the scholarship fund all felt that it was important to try to help those students who take, they have to take less than full-time credit allotments every semester because maybe they're working 2 jobs and going to school, maybe they're taking care of their family and going to school. And a lot of our scholarships are always going to be based around full-time students. So we didn't reduce the number of full-time student scholarships that we're giving out, but we've now added the opportunity for 10 part-time student scholarships. And we're going to include some continuing education programs. Trade schools will be considered for consideration, easy for me to say. Trade schools will be considered as well as other continuing education. So those things will all be left to the submission committee in April of this year, but we're excited about it. We're also excited that we were able to raise the amount that will be awarded from $750 a semester maximum to $1,000 per semester maximum. So that's a great thing, and our scholarship fund is predominantly managed by our folks in the legal service department. They pitch in to give us a lot of help, so thank you again. So I don't want to say this is a bone to pick, but it's, sometimes I think there's always 2 meanings to something, and I just want to make sure that we don't misinterpret what this means. So in a lot of our stores, our Stop and Shop stores, forgive me, they're selling these to raise money. Yeah, it's cute. It's a mask. Great. We all need masks. We can't do much of anything today without one. The difference is this mask has Marty the Robot on it. And they make him a nice little cartoon character, and he's really cute. And I get it. And Stop and Shop does a lot to support Local 1500 and its causes. It's a very big supporter of our scholarship fund, our charity funds every year. And I fully encourage every one of our members to support Stop and Shop's efforts to raise money. They do a ton of it. It's great. I do not want our members wearing a mask that has on it a piece of technology that is systematically eliminating hours and taking dollars out of your pockets. This is no different than a self-scanner. This is no different than a stupid bakery machine that bakes bread without somebody touching it. Look, I respect everybody's ideas, and I don't think this was done with the intent to rub it in anyone's face. I think it was just an opportunity for them to raise money. But the one thing I don't want to see as a union labor leader is our people promoting something that is absolutely having a negative impact on their job and will continue to have a negative impact on their job. You know, it may not be doing much now, but nobody spends the kind of money that these robots cost because they walk around, beep, look cute, and take pictures with kids. They have much higher plans for these robots as they do for other automation and other technological advances. And every single piece of automation and technological advance takes money out of our members' pockets, and it takes food off a member's table. So at the end of the day, as much as I appreciate what they're up to and as much as I want you to support their causes, not if it means wearing a mask with Marty the stupid friggin' robot on it. So please, don't be disrespectful about it. Make the donation. No thanks. I've heard they're selling Marty the robot cookies in some stores. Dogs like cookies. I'm sorry. I can't support anything with Marty the robot. So please, I ask you to do the same. I appreciate it. PSA, if you will. I don't know. I just can't do it. So I'll give you one little tidbit. It's about 50 some odd minutes into this meeting, and we have how many people on right now? Still wow, approaching 200, which is a good thing. So at the end of this meeting, if that number stays high enough, we're going to add to the 15 certificates that we raffle off. We usually raffle off 15 $25 gift cards. We're going to add one $100 Visa or MasterCard, whatever's available. And for the winner, the rep will come to your store and deliver that $100 gift card as well. So we're very happy with not only the number of people that come on to watch us on Facebook Live, but we're also happy with the number of you that are staying from the beginning of the meeting throughout to the end. And that's a great thing. And if you're going to invest that time, we're going to invest a little bit of extra money to kind of throw it back to you. Plus, I don't know anybody who couldn't use an extra $100. So we appreciate you sticking around with us. So let me just cover, God bless you. That was the quietest sneeze in the world, bro. So let me just cover a couple rumors. So I believe we announced that we had gotten wind from Stop and Shop, and I know that the members in those stores were notified in Islandia and Little Neck that there was a possibility those stores, well, not a possibility, they kind of put out word that those stores may or may not be closed in 2021. We've heard the rumors. We've gotten a lot of calls in those areas. And hey, Dave Mertz, I hear you're on. Hey, Dom from 328 too. I just want to tell you, we're hearing the same room as you are. And unfortunately, right now, we don't have any confirmation of anything different than what we were told before. I hope the rumors that we're hearing, or at least some of the rumors that we're hearing, are true, and that maybe there is a way for us to not lose these two stores in 2021 or at any time in the coming years. But until we are notified of that 100% by the company in writing, we have no choice but to assume eventually these two buildings will close. So keep your eyes open, keep your ears open. Please report anything you hear to us. But just remember, 95% of what you get is going to be just that. It's going to be a rumor. But why a landlord and a company executive think they can walk around in a store with a measuring tape and blueprints and temperature guns and no one's going to know what we're doing. No, it's a big secret. It's not a secret. I just wish they'd come up and tell us what they're doing. But if what their efforts are trying to ultimately achieve is that these two stores stay open and they stay Union supermarkets, well, then we encourage the shit out of them to keep measuring and keep breaking out blueprints and walking the building, because it'll keep more of our members employed. And at the end of the day, that's a great thing for all of us. You know, it's funny, Dave Mertz just jumped on, and I didn't know he was going to come on. So I saved one thing for last, and quite frankly, I think it's the biggest thing that I could report on tonight. RWDSU is a piece of the UFCW. It's the retail department store and wholesale workers. They're a huge part of the UFCW, and they have a pretty big footprint here in New York. There are a number of RWDSU locals. We are hand in hand with our RW partners on a regular basis. But the RWDSU also, like the UFCW, goes across the country. And right now, in Bessemer, if I don't butcher that, Alabama, they have over 6,000 Amazon workers in a fulfillment center that are casting votes as to whether or not they want the representation of the RWDSU. To say that this is probably the biggest campaign in the labor movement in the last 30 years would be an understatement. And to say that it's the biggest in the UFCW that I've known in my career is absolute. We're in Alabama, folks. This is not a campaign in New York. This is not a campaign in Chicago. This is not a campaign in California. This is not a campaign in a hotbed state for union activity. But it's a hot campaign against the richest company in the world, the one that's growing the fastest, and the one that's abusing its labor pool the most. You know, for years we talked about Walmart, Walmart, Walmart. We felt that Walmart was the Antichrist. And maybe at the time it was. And I'm not here to tell you that Walmart's a great employer. They're not still a threat or a danger to unionized employers across the country, because they are. But the threat that the company Amazon is to labor in all forms, in all formats, across this country and around the globe, is incomparable. Amazon could eat Walmart and spit it out. And they are having a demonstrative impact, and not in a good way, on working people and on the working class in this country. They are buying every piece of real estate they can. Everybody, we saw a comedy show not that long ago where a comedian made jokes about Amazon Prime and how it's a matter of time before people are going to expect that Amazon can predict what you think you might want tomorrow and deliver it for you this morning before you even know you want it. The crazy part about it is that Amazon would absolutely invest in that type of technology, because they'd find a way to charge you 3 times that it costs an item to get it to you before you even know you want it. This campaign in Bessemer, Alabama, could be the absolute, just the shot heard round the world for labor. We had a lot of success during the Stop and Shop job action up in New England 2 years ago. This campaign would have the same impact for organized labor, and it's absolutely incredible that over 6,000 people are casting mail ballots right now to be represented by the RWDSU. And our membership, like many other union memberships, is split when it comes to politics. You know, we have our red, we have our blue, we have our progressives, we have our socialists, we probably have a few communists, and we definitely have our share of conservatives. And that's the benefit of being in the union. The difference is whether you like or you don't like Joe Biden. President Joe Biden did something that no president since Franklin Delano Roosevelt did. He told the American public in a national address for over 2 minutes that it's okay to join a union. He told the richest man in the world and his company to stick it, that no matter who they are or how wealthy they are, that they don't have a right to take an independent worker, a little man, a little woman, a group of people, because they don't look at us as anything but numbers. They cannot take your right to join a union away from you. And to all these workers at Amazon in Bessemer, Alabama, and to everyone that's helping them, from nurses to teachers to garbage men, to the help from the National AFL-CIO, to all the RWDSU locals, the UFCW locals, SEIU locals that have sent help to Alabama. Win or lose, this is an unbelievable achievement as we stand here today. And on March 29th, the ballots will be finished being received, and God willing, the majority will have been cast in favor of representation of the RWDSU. From my perspective, as a relatively young labor leader, I can't believe that I'm a labor leader during this time in labor. During this election. I think this is something that will be chronicled for generations to come. And if we're victorious, it could change the scope of Amazon, the way it treats its workers, what it does, how it does it. And that's amazing. Because I'm sick and tired every night of not hearing about workers and not hearing about workers' rights, and hearing about whether or not it's Jeff Bezos or friggin' Elon Musk being the richest man in the world. How about we stop trying to make the rich richer, and we give a little bit back to the people that helped make them rich to begin with? In Bessemer, Alabama, this is our biggest chance. To President Biden, all I can say is thank you. Thank you for confirming what millions of unorganized members and unorganized workers in this country should have known a long time ago. Nobody has a right to take away your right to join a union. So thank you for making it okay, President Biden. And to those of you that hate him, if you're represented, if you're a part of organized labor, I hope you can at least take a deep enough breath to remember this. Anything that helps organized labor in some capacity helps you. It helps us provide you medical benefits for yourselves and your family. It helps us secure your pension or your retirement vehicle. And it helps us make sure that you get respect and dignity on the job. So once again, welcome to the biggest fight in labor in the last 30 years. And to our friends at the RW, to Dave Mertz, to Stu Applebaum, and everyone on the ground in Alabama, go get them. Good luck. Because if you can pull this off, you will have slayed the giant. So good luck. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I know I was a little bit long, but it is only 8:02, so I didn't go longer than I normally do. So I'm going to pass it back to my faithful friend here, Mr. Waddy, and I just want to say thank you again for your attention.
Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it. You want to do the raffle first and then the Q&A after?
Mhm.
All right. Reps, let's collect all of the attendance cards.
I'm just gonna go to the restroom. You want to jump over and do the raffle?
Are we doing, we're doing it over here?
Yeah, right. Tara, just slide it this way a little bit. Twist it. Right there. Thanks.
I'm gonna put it over here so you guys can see, and I can't, while I pick them. I'll hand them over to Joe.
Okay. Kathleen Glass, Stop and Shop 2565.
Okay, that is for a $25 gift card. This is another $25 gift card. There you go.
Okay. Gail Rogan, Stop and Shop 560, Smithtown. Got that?
Mhm. Another $25 gift card.
Bob Eubank, Wild by Nature, 203. What's up, Bob?
Okay. We're doing another $25 gift card here. There you go.
The fun part. Anne Marie Fernandez, King Cullen 53.
For another $25 gift card. I'll try to reach in a little deeper in there. Here you go.
Tina Smith, King Cullen 19.
Thank you. Another $25 gift card.
Tony Diorio, King Cullen 57, St. James.
Nice. Do you care one?
It's like a Morgan here.
Yeah, really. Can we hear some cheering or something? Is someone? All right.
Your field reps are actually in the room. They're just being very quiet, so. Another $25 gift card.
Lori Barbie, SRS 278. There we go. There we go. This is more like a raffle.
Whatever you want to pull on.
Okay. We'll do another $25 gift card.
Diane Charmella.
Chiaramella.
Yeah, so 532 Stop and Shop.
Former committee member.
Nice handwriting, too.
Yeah, it is
here.
nice handwriting.
Bill Murray. Okay, so now we're gonna do a $100 gift card. And the winner is, oh man,
Joseph Thomas, Stop and Shop 291. 291, is that enough? It's a $100 gift card.
That's the $100.
yeah.
These guys are pathetic.
Where's 291 Stop and Shop?
291 Stop and Shop?
Or does that say SRS?
It's
Okay, it's SRS.
Okay.
How many you got left?
7.
7. Here we go. 1,
Oh man,
2,
she's gonna
3.
kill you.
Yeah, she's not gonna be upset.
These are all for $25 gift cards.
That's 5, 6, 7.
seven.
There you go. You pulled
Okay.
seven. Okay. Kathy Brawley, King Cullen 23. Marquita Riley, ShopRite 289. Marquita. Got that? You got the card in there too. Okay. Robert Processian, Stop and Shop 548. It's all right.
Sorry.
Allison Nielsen, King Cullen 1.
Now we're excited.
All right. Steve Hennessy, Wild by Nature 202. Okay. Leo Rodriguez, Stop and Shop 2590. 2590. Leo. Okay. And last, but definitely not least, Maureen McLean, King Cullen 39.
All right, give me the questions. Pop it back open. And you may have to. Thank you. All right, I'll say this to you. Fastest response ever, zip it. Fastest response ever, we already got an email to jobs@ufcw1500.org. So that's pretty quick, I'm not gonna lie. All right, so here's some questions that came in. Can I help from home? Rich Black, absolutely. We can figure out a way for you to help spread the message. We can figure out a way for you potentially to do some texting or some calling of members that need assistance on an organizing drive. Jeff, shut up unless you want to come answer these questions. And yes, that's how I talk to my reps when they talk out of school. Are masks available to all stores? Edna Rodriguez, yes, Edna, when they come in, they will be made available to all stores. We ordered 10,000 of them. Peter Hoffman, I would like to work for the union. Thanks for putting that one in, John. I appreciate it. Peter, we know that. You tell us every time we see you. Unfortunately, that's not an email. 2 jobs@ufcw1500.org. Leo Rodriguez, how many years is the Stop and Shop contract? The most recent settlement was for 54 months.
Correct.
Leo, so it expires in June of 25?
Yeah,
June of
correct.
25. Amanda I don't know if John spelled this wrong or if I just can't read. Radules?
Where do you got it?
Right here.
Oh, yeah.
Rodales, I'm sorry, I'm probably destroying your name, I do apologize. On a scholarship application, what should be entered as member ID? Last 4 digits of your social security number is fine. Kathleen Glass, Stop and Shop 2565. Okay, I appreciate that comment. I disagree that it has nothing special for your part-timers. I think if you take a good hard look at the fact that you get vacation, sick, personal, paid holidays, dental, vision, a death benefit, that's off the top of my head, plus a retirement vehicle, I would bend to think you may, if you look at it a little differently, you may find, I don't know, it's your opinion, you're entitled to it, but I don't agree with you. Rich Black. Rich, you think we can be certified to give out vaccines? Okay, I'd love to hear how. Send us an email to info@ufcw1500.org. Regina Anyafrak, I know, Regina, I know. Right now, all we can do is Suffolk County, so. Joseph Thomas, do you know when Stop and Shop pharmacies are getting the vaccine? Joseph, they have been getting the vaccine randomly throughout their stores for well over a month and a half, but it's not consistent. They get vaccine doses in different stores on different weeks, and when they go through them, they go through them. They can also only give out 9 appointments per day maximum. So they've been dealing strictly with the public. They weren't able to, in the beginning, give to any employees unless those employees were 65 years of age. So do I know which ones get it on which day? No, I don't. The company does not send us a list on, because I don't know that they know until they actually get them. Vincent Maflio likes the new masks. Thank you very much. I don't know what that means. What is, I don't want to close the Facebook window to look
I
at
was
me.
texting on the other phone to get the.
Oh, this is Paul and John chatting in between questions. Okay, sorry. You can tell how involved I am in the creation of this list.
Little insight.
Gail Rogan wants to know who will hold the annuity. The annuity is managed by 3 management trustees, 3 union trustees. Right now, the money is invested through UBS, Gail. They invest in bonds and a lot of other investment classes, investment assets. If you want more information on that, you can certainly feel free to give one of us a call, Gail. But it's not a matter of just one company holding it. It's invested through UBS in multiple types of investment vehicles. Dave Metz, when will Stop and Shop have the vaccine? I just answered that question a couple earlier. Linda Metz wants to know if we're trying to organize Instacart. Linda Milton, I'm sorry. We would love, I made Linda Milton, Linda Metz. We'd love to organize Instacart. Unfortunately, the opportunity to organize Instacart is a little bit easier when they gather in single locations, but Instacart workers, like many gig economy workers, are not usually in the same place at the same time or for a very long period of time. They also don't often report to the same site, so it makes tracking them down very, very difficult. Getting a lead where that lead has multiple contacts also becomes a little difficult, but the UFCW, the RWDSU, and all of the local union affiliates in the New York State AFL-CIO are doing everything we can to find ways to work through some legislation that may make it easier to organize gig economy workers. Stephen Tecci, rumors of layoffs at D'Agostino's. Stephen, I would tell you this, the D'Agostino and Gristedes companies, unfortunately, have not been reaping the benefit, very similar to the former Fairway stores that were owned by Fairway. Now they're owned by Village ShopRite. Everyone in the city who's doing business solely in Manhattan, including the key food operators in Manhattan, they're all getting crunched. There's not a lot of volume to be had. The street vendors, which is something that we're working on, are absolutely creating a significant disadvantage for our organized employers. And it's something that we are doing everything we can to prevent. We are not ever in favor of layoffs, but I can tell you this much, no matter what happens, there is a negotiating process, and we are absolutely going to do everything we can to protect every job that we can in every employer, whether they be in the city or not. So I know that if you're in D'Agostino, you're represented by Vilma Marie Flores. If you have specific questions relating to your personal situation, I would encourage you to call Vilma, okay? Are there any other questions?
I don't have any.
Do we have any others?
Right now, no.
All right. Well, that's not a bad set of questions, although, so thank you. Regina Westerland sent me a message. She says, and I quote, "Just want you to know it was Mike asking about the vaccine. You know what a smartass he is." Yes, Regina, we absolutely do know what kind of smartass Mike Onufrak could be. Love you, Mike. Hope you're feeling better. Don't break anything else, buddy. So thank you to all of you that spent the time watching and sat through this meeting and do every single quarter. I just want to say thank you to all of you for the opportunity to serve as your president and for taking the time to stay involved in your union and help us do what we try to do every day, which is better the working conditions for our members. Have a great day, stay safe, and get vaccinated if that's what you want to do. Take care.